everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of our Scratch Shooter game tutorial series. So first we're going to make two variables. The first one will be called x-axle, and for this sprite only. The second will be y-axle, and again for this sprite only. Then we need to start making it. Okay, so first, when green flag clicked and forever, we are going to check if the W key is pressed, then we are going to change x-axle by 1. We will duplicate this if statement and change the W to an S and change the 1 to a -1. Oh yeah, well first both of these should be y-axle and this should be a -1. Then we're going to duplicate both of these if statements and do it for X movement as well, so horizontal. So D and A for WASD movement that we're using, and change these both to x-axle. The 1 and the -1 can stay the same. Then what we'll do is we will set x-axle to and set y-axle to x-axle times by 0.8, and then the same for y-axle, but instead of x-axle it will be y-axle. All this does is add friction to the player movement, so it doesn't just keep sliding forever. Then to actually move the player, we will add in change X and change Y by x-axle and y-axle. So if you test it, this should work and you should have 4 direction movement like this. But currently we don't want the scratch cat as our sprite, so we'll get on to changing that in just a second. This is the completed script. If you would like, you can add in an OR statement here, so it can be W or up arrow pressed, and you can do the same for all of the others, but I don't want to do that. And then we need to change. Okay, now we're going to change the sprite. I would recommend just using a simple circle. I would also recommend using the outline as 3 or 4. So make a simple circle. I'll do it about this size, and to make sure to center it. You also name the sprite player. Back into the code, what we will do so what we'll do is we'll make another sprite and we will call it gun, or you can change this to whatever other name you want. So just make a simple gun sprite, or whatever you want. It could be a water gun, or like a sci-fi blaster sort of weapon. So this is mine that I've done. It's just a simple triangle boomerang shape, I'm just going to leave it as this for now. Yeah, I would recommend around the same size that we're doing, so it's easily visible and it is also in proportion to the player. Then make sure to center this. Now in the code, what we'll do is, what we want to do is when we click on the mouse, when we click down with the mouse, we will well, first what we want to do is we want to take it to the player. So forever we'll go to player, but we don't want it to be on the player sprite. So we'll also add a move however many steps. This will just move it a little bit forward away from the center of the player. I'm going to use 45 steps to get it about that distance away from the player. So this will also move with them. Then what we'll want to do is also it'll need to point towards the mouse pointer, but currently this is very glitchy, so we will need to put the point towards the mouse pointer before the move 45 steps. Now this creates a nice effect for moving. The gun will track the mouse and always point towards it. This makes it a lot easier to aim. Then what we'll want to do is we'll want to add shooting to the gun. So we need to make a bullet sprite. In this bullet sprite, I would recommend just making it a simple circle, or you could draw it to actually be look like a bullet instead of that. But for this, I'm just going to use a circle. Also, I would do an orange colour, depending on the style of your game. It could be darker or lighter, or if you don't, you could also do like darts instead of a bullet. Whatever you want to do for your game. Around a small size, so it'd look like it would just about fit into the barrel of the gun, for consistency, and so players and yourself don't find it strange that it shouldn't fit. So what we want to do is we don't want this actual bullet to be here, so we'll want to hide it when we start, and then we always want to check if we are clicking, so if mouse down, then we will want to clone it. But to make sure that we can't hold down the mouse and have it forever shooting, we'll want to put a wait until, not mouse down. This will check if the mouse, so before we can shoot again, we need to release the mouse. Okay, so then what we'll want to do is when I start as a clone, we will want to go to the gun and then we will show. So this will display the bullet here. Now we'll just need to move it. This is really simply done with a forever the move 10 steps or whatever speed you want it to be. But currently the bullets aren't flying towards it, so we'll also need to point towards mouse pointer. Now this does render the bullets in the correct place, but it's not coming out of the barrel. And just without this, just to show you, this is what would happen if you held the mouse down. So this wait until not mouse down is very important. Unless you do want a spamming thing, then you can just do wait and then however much time you want. So what we'll want to do is, so to centre it onto the barrel, oh wait, first all I need to do is go backwards one layer so it's not going over the gun. This is just a visual change. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I would definitely recommend doing this. So for the gun sprite, what we'll want to do is just move it down a little bit. So this is just the simplest fix to make it look like the bullets are exiting from the barrel. Okay, so this is all for today in today's tutorial. In the next we will be adding enemies and some visual effects. Oh wait, first thing before it's over, just in the player sprite, go to 0, 0. This will just put it at the start, at the middle of the screen when you start the game. Okay, that is all for today's tutorial. Bye everyone.